I don't know. I was always just like a big music fan. Like I always like I really just my parents were like into Motown and like stuff like that, and just kind of weird different music. My dad liked Sinatra, and it was always like music was always being played around the house. So to me, it was just you know I just love music. And then the first music that I sort of like kind of grasped onto was like grunge music, like Nirvana, Stone Temple Pilots, Pearl Jam, Soundgarden. You know, it was that kind of got me in. I grew up in California, so the like the hip hop scene, like the West Coast hip hop scene, was huge, and so it was like a little bit of those things that just made me want to play music, and it just kind of took off from there. In terms of collaborating, there's like, you know, for me it's probably like pretty much like the bands that I've like shared the stage with, like performing live. That's kind of been the coolest like experience for me. So this band O8R was like a big band for me when I was growing up, and they're actually in LA right now. They're playing on Jay Leno tonight with B.O.B. So I'm gonna bounce over there in about an hour to go see that. And like kind of just like being on tour with them and really sort of just being on the road and kind of vibing out with those guys was probably my favorite. To me, like I don't know, all the shows are different. Every show has like its own vibe. Every show has its own way to like be special and be cool and be, something that you remember. So, I play like a bunch of different shows. Like it's not just like one type of show. It could be a solo acoustic show. It could be a trio acoustic show. It could be 100 different things. It could be full band, like big, like kind of stadium show, or like it just depends. And so, I guess the more intimate shows, you really get to connect with the audience, and you really get to show them like a different side of you. You get to really sort of break everything down. Where you play those bigger shows on bigger stages with the full band, and it's like super high energy. Everything's just kind of like it's big. Like there's a lot of energy behind it. So it's a different vibe. I just like to play music. My favorite thing is just to be on stage and just to really sort of kind of give what I've learned, and give like this creativity that I've sort of like come up with, and just give that to the audience and hope that they have a good experience. Like I said, last summer was pretty great, but it'd probably be like the first tour that I really went on, like the first legitimate tour. I played a lot of colleges, we booked a lot of our own shows, and we did everything like on our own, like for a while. And the first tour I got on was with this girl, Kate Vogel, and she was on a show called One Tree Hill at the
Mia.
time.
Sorry.
Yeah, Mia, there you go, you got it. And she was the first one to like really like, kind of like take me out on the road for like an extended period of time. And that was just it was crazy. Like it was me and my bass player, and we just did it acoustic, and I think we went on the road for a month, and got to go from pretty much coast to coast. And those memories from those times, playing, I think we were making like $50 a night or like $100 a night, and trying to sell CDs and T-shirts after the show. And those kind of memories are the ones that sort of stick with me. I just like maybe like fish tacos on the grill, think Tahiti or Bali. Just always kind of put me mentally in a place to by watching clouds. Oh, I like that, watching clouds flow by like a childhood hobby, because that, like, to me, that was like one of my favorite things to do, like as a kid. Like even like if it was like after like a soccer practice or a baseball practice, or even if you're bored in a game, and it's a baseball game or something, and you just kind of like sit and just like check out the clouds. That was like one of my favorite things to do as a kid. Just like I guess rarely as a kid do you ever really relax, and do you ever sort of like stop moving, and you're still, it's like a 10-year-old or a 12-year-old, in that like range. And I think like, watching the clouds was always something that I found as like this peaceful little moment as a kid. So I'd have to say watching clouds flow by like a childhood hobby. Probably the most meaningful song. I wrote a song called Lights Down Low, actually. That was like, I think it was off like the first album I did after college, and I was trying to write from like the perspective of like, almost like writing as if like my dad had already passed away, and obviously, he was living and still is living, but it was kind of like what I would say to him, or the kind of sentiment that I would have if something like that happened. So that was pretty meaningful. you know, it's different because every song means something in a different way. You know, I mean, even I wrote a song on this last little EP that we put out this last summer. The song called Magic, and that song just it's about a very special someone, and it meant a lot when I wrote it. And it was for a purpose, and it was completely intended to be for her. So it was you know it was a song that had a purpose from the beginning. So those are usually like the most meaningful songs, when you know exactly what you want to write, you go after it, you do your best to get there, and then you're satisfied with the outcome. Yeah, I mean, again, I went to school. I graduated college. I went to school here in LA at USC, and I'd probably be doing something in business. Ultimately, I'd most likely be, on the business side, and ultimately, I will be on the business side of music. Like that's just my goal. I would love to create a position for myself in some way to really sort of, give artists the outlet. Like really, like let them almost like mentor and create a platform and an outlet for artists to make great music. Young artists that really didn't know the business side. And it's like, maybe they didn't go to college, maybe they don't have like that business sense. And so that would be the way that that I could give back and still be involved in music. So, in reality, I'd probably be on the business side of music, probably in management, something along those lines. But for the most part, I think that, in terms of like what I was supposed to do, I was probably supposed to be, a commercial real estate guy. I was supposed to sell insurance, and it's because of that I just feel so lucky that I get to do what I get to do. I get to play music every night, and that's that's my life, and it's a very fortunate thing to be able to do. I'm super excited. I mean, it's my 6th time going back to Australia. And, to be honest with you, when I was in college, like, I never even thought I'd really be able to go once as just like a vacation, let alone be paid 6 times to go. So this, I love Australia. It definitely has a special place in my heart. And we get to go to Tasmania on this trip. And, I couldn't be more thankful for the people that have like supported me out there. It started with Oakley, Australia. That was like Oakley South Pacific that first brought me out. And now I'm going out for Patagonia. And, to kind of be able to combine it with, a great trip, great music, and then a great cause. I mean, everything that Patagonia does is so environmentally friendly. They have like this whole repair, reuse, recycle campaign. And it's really about raising awareness for, our consumption. And it's something that as an artist, just traveling, doing what I do, I consume so much. So to be able to kind of to go back and give back in a certain way and really promote like an idea that I definitely believe in, it's cool to be able to go do that. And I buy carbon offsets for all my travel, and I just respect everything that Patagonia has done with that premise of keeping the environment safe, number one, and number two, trying to repair the damage that's been done. And kind of one cool thing, they had an ad campaign with a Patagonia T-shirt, and I think this was a couple years ago, and it said their whole ad campaign was "Don't buy this shirt," and they really do they foster like the idea of like, if you can fix it, like fix the shirt. If you can sew something, sew it. And if you can give it away to someone, or you can buy something used, like a jacket that you might go snowboarding in or whatever it is, buy that jacket. You don't have to buy it new. And then worst comes to worst, they have these, if you bring in a old Patagonia jacket or any kind of old clothing, they'll show you, number one, how to repair it. And if you can't, then, they recycle that material and they use it again. So to be able to go out to Australia for that is just, an awesome cause. And, hopefully, as it's always been an awesome experience. I mean, I would love to play South America. I've never even been to South America. I just got back from Costa Rica, just on like a little vacation for a surf trip and a buddy's bachelor party. But I've never played South America, and like Brazil, I think would be amazing. Anything down there, I think would be really, really cool. So that would be my ultimate, Brazil for sure. The song that I really like to play live, I think there's two. One would be Six Bottles, just because I usually like freestyle in that song, and I get to do a little guitar solo. The song, the tempo just kind of lends itself to just infinite possibilities. You're not locked into any one thing. So I'd say probably Six Bottles, and then I really like to play Standing on a Rooftop. I like that reggae kind of bounce feel, and it just feels good when we get the band rocking there.
summertime running through my mind. I need a date with the sun, bronze skin and margaritas. Just a day full of fun, call your friends, they can meet us. Swimsuit, suntans, now you turning up the speakers. Live the good life, we belong on the beaches. I'll teach you how to surf, then we can play beach volley. Fish tacos on the grill, think Tahiti or Bali. Laying in the sun as it kisses your body, watching clouds float by like a childhood hobby. All I got is summertime running through my mind. All I got is summertime running through my mind. Got a new pair of shades, see waves in slow motion, like Corona commercials, 2 chairs by the ocean. Turning off our phones, leave a message at the tone, and it's straight to voicemail, just leave us alone, man. Laying under palm trees, sand between your toes. Paradise is perfect, wash away your woes. Guitars, Pacific Coast, when the beach fire glows. Can I stay here forever? I don't ever